Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. It is peanut butter jelly time. And I know, everybody, I know. It's been an absolute dog's age, like over 7 years since I've been back. No, I apologize, guys. Welcome to the update video. For those of you who are going to watch the Real Talks in a little bit, if you don't want to watch it, you can skip away from it. Doesn't matter to me, but here is the update. So I'm literally only just doing a quick little update video for you guys. I want to make you guys aware. In fact, because I'm not really going to be playing much of a game, I may as well just make me a little bit bigger. There we go. How's that? How's that sound, guys? There we go. So I want to say thank you guys, all of you who have been very, very patient with me. I really do apologize, but I had pneumonia. And in reality, I had viral pneumonia. So what happens is I caught a little bit of a virus, and it went into my lungs, and it filled my lungs up with a little bit of fluid. Really painful, hard to breathe, coughing all the time, feeling like, my lung was going to jump out. Was not a good thing. But I had to take the break. It's the worst thing in the world, especially for a YouTuber like me who talks consistently, because you really can't talk for that long. Like, your lungs just won't allow you to get enough air to actually talk that long. So, c'est la vie. That is what happened. I am back, though, guys, but I'm back with a few changes. Like this. I'm going to be drinking more coffee. No. So there's going to be a few changes to the channel, guys, and some of you may like it, some of you may not. Either way, I've got to do this because I've had lots of time to think about things. And what I've had a chance to think about is, what is the direction of my channel going? What is the direction of my personal enjoyment going? And as much as Minecraft is awesome, I do like other games as well, and I encourage you guys to check out other games as well. You never want to sit in your life and think to yourself, oh my goodness, I can only play this particular one thing. And I know that there's a number of people out there who, may disagree with this because all they ever play is Minecraft and all they ever record is Minecraft. And so be it. That's on you. But even the great and wonderful Stampy Longnose plays other games. Because you do need that break. You need a chance to kind of, flip yourself around and try new things. So I'm going to be bringing a couple of new games to my gameplay commentary. But I'm not going to be bringing them to this particular channel, or at least not all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be setting up my Twitch TV page, which is twitch.tv/PBnJ's. If you go over there and follow, make sure that you are 13 plus. Because a number of the games that I'm going to be playing later in the evenings, just kind of relaxing and having my chill zone, that's going to be all 13 plus stuff. So I don't want anybody coming there who is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. So if you're under the age of 13 plus, please don't go and follow the Twitch page, because the content's probably not for you. Unless, of course, your parents give you permission, and that's completely up to you then. You are allowed to make your own choices. I'm not here to patronize you guys and say, you must do this, or you mustn't do that, or you must watch that, and you mustn't watch that. That is up to you and your parents to decide. Not the community, not the people around. Not anybody, really. That's on you. So that's what's going to be happening with the other games. I am still going to be doing Minecraft on here. Yummy Yummy World, I'm still going to be doing once in a while. Certainly not 3 times a week like it was at one point in time, but I may try and keep it to 2 times a week. We'll see how that goes. I will also be bringing another video or another set of series to this chapter of YouTube, and that's going to be over on FusePvP.net, and that is Mr. Supercharge's server, so go on over there and say hi. And I'm going to be starting up playing factions, so that's going to be really, really interesting. I will still be bringing you guys mini games once in a while, so mini games and Hunger Games and PvP games and things like that, because I really like that. In fact, I'll show you what I got. I got my beautiful Razer Naga mouse. It's a gorgeous little device. It's got 10 different buttons on the side. It's got 19 buttons in total. Absolutely epic. I love this company, and no, they're not paying me to say that. I really love this mouse. So another thing I've started getting into is World of Warcraft. I have always been a World of Warcraft player, so I'm going to bring some of that to my channel. I'm going to do it in a very interesting way. In fact, one of the ways that I'm going to do it is by starting up a new character. Now, the cool thing about World of Warcraft, guys, for those of you who are, within that age category, the teenage category, go check out the game, guys. It is free to play up to level 20. Now, there's 100 levels. That's the cap right now. The world is so immersive. There's so much you can do. But I am going to start a character. You guys will see that. I'll start it on a very low population server so that you guys can come on and you can, visit with me when I'm on there, when I'm recording, things like that. And you guys can check the game out and just play around with it. So we can go ahead and do that. It'll be interesting to see how many of you guys really enjoy the game enough to ask your parents to, help you afford it. The reality is the game is not free to play. So it does cost, I believe it's about $40. It's about $40 to $50 to buy the actual X pack or the expansion packs. Get that all taken care of. I'll put all the details in the World of Warcraft video. And then it is $15 a month, US dollars per month, to have a subscription after that. But it is free to play up till level 20. So you can at least come on, start a new character, and play around up till level 20. And that'll be really interesting. I'll be going through all the quests really, really slowly. Just an opportunity to kind of play out a storyline. It'll be really interesting. And that's pretty much the updates for the channel. I will make another specific video in the near future coming up this week detailing out the actual schedule that I'm going to have. And then I'm going to put my Twitch TV schedule up there. And I am going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it. Being off sick, giving me time to think, I really needed to kind of get back to the gears and focus. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me. And now I want to get into the real talks. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Real Talks segment. Pardon me, sorry, still getting over this little bit of illness here. So, Real Talks. We're talking about bullies, we're talking about illegal activities, we're talking about criminals and what you do about them, guys. I was hacked. It's crazy, and I've been hearing this from a lot of people. There's a lot of our YouTuber friends who are getting hacked, who are getting DDoSed, who are, having things done to them that is absolutely crazy, and having their accounts hacked. Not only their accounts, but also having their credit card information attempted to be stolen, their PayPal information attempted to be used. In my particular case, and this happened while I was sick, in my particular case, my credit card was actually hacked. My computer was hacked. They keylogged, or they grabbed my credit card information through that, and they started using it. And it's absolutely insane. So I want to talk about this because I think one of the things that people aren't doing is talking about it. They're not standing up about it. They're not, really making a scene about it. And I know, a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to cause any scenes. I don't know any information. I don't have proof. And this, I think, is what hackers and criminals, and this is not some giant conspiracy, guys. Let's be realistic here. This is not the Lizard Squad or the Gerbil Squad or, the Gecko Kingdom who is coming after everybody. They could give a hoot and holler about the YouTubers that are being affected. They've got bigger fish, I guess, to fry. This is, I personally believe that this is, certain individuals who are spiteful in nature, who are constantly paranoid about what people think about them. And, from the information I've gathered, apparently they feel justified that they're allowed to hack other people's systems in order to find out what they're saying about them in particular behind their back. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. And if that wasn't bad enough, they've taken it a step further and gone ahead and stolen from people. And this is just criminal. So my particular case, my credit card was taken, and they attempted to use my credit card. Now, they only got $14.50 because, luckily, I only use a $300 limit credit card for any online purchases. And I was in between payments at the time. I had literally just made a payment, and it's absolutely crazy because the payment hadn't gone through when they attempted to take funds. So my guess is, and I'm still waiting on the reports back from my credit card company, my guess is they had tried to get a high amount, then a low amount, then a lower amount, then a lower amount. It constantly kept getting rejected. So eventually they only got $14.50. Now, it's really, really interesting. And the reason I'm sharing this information with you guys is because I do believe wholeheartedly that if something has happened to you, you don't just kind of zip it. You don't sweep it under the rug. You got to talk about it. And I think there's a lot of people who are afraid of, you know, what an individual might be capable of doing and getting hacked again and all of this stuff. The reality is, when it comes to bullies and when it comes to people who are, you know, performing illegal activities, who are criminals, you don't shut up. You don't, like, they're not the mob. They're not gonna, you know, put a horse's head in your bed or anything like that. So, in my opinion, you talk about it. Now, this is my particular case. I don't know any more details because I'm still waiting on the reports from my credit card company, but I will be doing everything in my power to track down who it actually is. So this is basically what happened to me. A top-up for US dollar Najimian BEL 6456 or 6546 BG Bell. I tracked down that company, and that's actually a Belgian phone card company. So somebody clearly used my credit card to purchase phone time, and this is just so stupid because, yeah, like, I don't know, I can't even describe the stupidity of this action. But, you know, luckily for me, nothing ended up happening. You know, I have zero liability fraud protection on all my credit cards, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm not being charged for it, and there's a police investigation ongoing. I provided the details, as well as information on where I think it's coming from. Very few people are, you know, have it out to get me, kind of thing. And the reality is, it's not Lizard Squad. It's like it's not some big hacker conglomeration who are going after it. So that is the reality. There have been a number of other YouTubers whose accounts have been hacked, and it all seems to surround, you know, a particular issue. So to those YouTubers who are being hacked, I want to give some advice to you guys. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't hide it. You know, make your friends aware of it, because they do deserve to know what's going on and know how to protect themselves. So, I've had many conversations with people who have been hacked, and big thank you to Nitro Luke DX for, you know, sharing with some people his solution to this hacking program. And he recommended that a couple of programs were downloaded to try and get rid of this backdoor software that was put onto people's computers. And that would be using some antivirus software like Norton Antivirus, Malware Bytes, which is a very good one. I particularly use Microsoft Security Essentials because it's free and it's Microsoft, and they keep an eye on things very, very closely. So regular updates, and regular virus checks on your computers if you're worried at all. The other thing is, be very careful with your credit card information when you're using it online. For those of you who don't have credit cards, that's fine. This isn't necessarily for you. However, this particular part is, what do you do when you've been bullied, when you've been hacked? Don't point fingers. I'm showing you guys facts here. This is a fact, that this is where the credit card purchase was made. And that's the only fact that I know. The rest of it is all hearsay and conjecture, and I'm not going to throw that hearsay and conjecture out on Twitter. You don't want to do that, because that's how rumors start. I do make my friends aware of it, and I do make sure that the people that I care about, the people that, you know, I feel are at most, shall I say, susceptibility to this, I make them aware of it, because I think they need to be aware. And I had those conversations about where I think it's coming from and what they need to be afraid of or worried about, and give them the opportunity to make that decision. But I don't bring it to Twitter. I don't, you know, share it out there and say, hey, I believe this, I believe that, because without proof, it's kind of crazy. But that leads into this, guys. You know, bullies, especially on the internet, and criminal activity on the internet, it's prevalent. It's hard to deal with because there's a level of anonymity, and people don't want to step up, and they don't want to look silly by, you know, making comments. But I do have to say, you can't completely shut your mouth about it. You can't completely ignore the activities, especially when it comes to bullying. When it comes to bullying, the fact of the matter is, and I guess criminal activity in the same right, The reality is, the more you sweep it under the rug, the more the person gets into this feeling that, ha ha ha, I got away with it. I'm so good. I'm so smart. Nobody can touch me because I'm anonymous. Okay, that's not the case. You're not anonymous. You're not anonymous. This is, if all roads are leading to Rome, that's Rome up ahead. If you're on a road and all the signs are pointing towards that particular place, that's the place that's the place where it's happening. So if this is happening surrounding one particular scene of events, people aren't stupid. We're not stupid. We know where it's coming from and we know what's going on. And that's the reality of the situation. But this anonymity becomes a thing. So if you keep quiet about it, if you sweep it under the rug, if you think, oh, well, you know, I believe in this mentality of don't be a tattletale. This don't be a tattletale thing does not work. Okay? It really doesn't work. All it does is it gives that person an inflated ego thinking that they can get away with it. And then there's going to be another victim. It could be your brother, your sister, your mother, your cousin. And that next victim maybe not be able to handle it as well as you can. And I know I'm a very, very strong individual, but when my credit card was hacked, I felt bad. I wasn't devastated, but I can only imagine somebody else who's going through this. And I've had conversations with people who are also going through this, whose accounts have been hacked, whose PayPal's, somebody's attempted to use their PayPal account. And this is ridiculous. The feeling that they have to go through because somebody is spiteful is not a good thing. So I encourage all of those people who have been targeted by any particular person, whether it be a bully or whether it be a hacker or whether it be a DDoSer or anything like that, that you speak about it, that you go to the police, you go to the authorities, because that's what they're there for. And you make your friends aware that they need to be careful about this. Because, frankly, if you're letting a criminal get away with these activities or a bully get away with these activities, then you're part of the problem and not part of the solution. And yes, I know it's controversial because a lot of people are going to look at me, well, you know, but, you know, people will make judgments and this, that, and well, so be it. You know, if you're walking around and you're smelling like a bag of poop, people are going to judge you. If you don't shower, people are going to judge you. If your actions and activities lead people to believe or lead people into the perspective that you're a criminal, I'm sorry, you need to change your actions. Other people don't need to change their perspective about you. You need to change those actions. And we as a community are in the thick of it. We as a community have a responsibility, I believe, to protect each other. To stand up for each other and to say, no, this is unacceptable. This behavior is unacceptable. And I've made my decisions on hanging out with people based on this. If I see you doing things that are destructive, that are despicable to other people, that are ruining lives, or just for personal pleasure you want to, you know, get some kick filling your ego by hurting somebody, that's not the type of person I want to hang out with. And I also don't want to hang out with, by extension, any of those people who are supporting that, who are saying, oh, well, I'm going to ignore it. So if you don't have a backbone, then, you know, I'm worried that your morals are completely out of whack. So that's what I want to talk about. That's all I wanted to talk about, guys. Don't be afraid to stand up to bullies. Do not be afraid to stand up to bullies. And I'm not saying, again, go to Twitter and put it out there, but make your friends aware of it. Build a support group. Build a network of people who you know you can trust. And if this is happening to you, speak to them about it. Speak to, if you're young, speak to an adult about it. If you're being bullied at school, go to your headmaster, go to your headmistress, go to the police even. Because if you don't, then the next person who's more sensitive in nature could be the one devastatingly affected by it. I've heard so many stories about online bullying and the bullyee, the person who got bullied, committing suicide because they couldn't handle it. Committing suicide because losing their life because they couldn't handle it. And if that person who was bullied before stepped up to the plate and said, no, this is not acceptable, this is not allowed, this is not going to happen, and put a stop to that particular bully right there and then maybe it wouldn't have gotten that far. So that's what I'm advocating for, everybody. Don't allow it to continue. Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution. So I'm saying no to bullies. No to criminals in this environment. We deal with so many children. To have somebody who's consistently doing criminal behavior, it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. We can't have that happening. So we need to step up to the plate. We need to do something about it. And I do advocate that you go to the police. If you've been DDoSed, if you've been hacked, if your money has been stolen, go to the police, contact the police. The more the police know, the better the case is to build. And the more impetus, the more incentive they have to go and really dig down to find the culprit who is responsible. To those of you who are creating these actions, I hope that this is a wake-up call for you, that there are people in this community who are not afraid to stand up. And if you guys are with me, then I will give you all the support in the world. If you are standing up to a bully, I will give you all the support in the world. If you need some of my strength to go to you so that we can help this situation, I'm there for you. I have broad shoulders, and if this ruins me, so be it. I know I have walked my life with integrity and helping people out. And I hope that the majority of you guys respect this. Those that don't, that's fine. That's your judgment call. But I'm no longer keeping my mouth shut. It's the reality is I'm sick and tired of seeing spiteful behavior wreaking havoc on people's lives. And this goes to you bullies who are spiteful and going on other people's channels and leaving, nasty comments. I'll call you out on it every single time. I love my friends. I love the people in this community who are hurt by all these things, and I don't want to see it any longer. So that's Real Talks with PB&J. Bullies and criminals deserve to be called out. So if you see it happening, make sure that you are acting appropriately. Make sure that you're talking to an adult. Don't throw rumors out on Twitter. That's not what we're trying to do. Don't throw rumors out on your channel. That's not what we're trying to do. Be very careful what you're doing, but make sure that you're getting it off your chest. Make sure that you're looking for solutions to it and trying to find a way to put an end to it. Hopefully this video creates some impetus to the people who are doing this to recognize that they're on to us. They're going to stop us. And if you want to go to war, we can go to war, but I don't think it's going to come to that. The reality is, guys, we need to stand up to bullies and we need to stand up to criminals, and that is the bottom line. Peanut Butter Jelly is going to say thank you guys very much for tuning in. Pieces. Al Reese's.